What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see up on the screen here, if I get 0 wins in today's draft, if I do horribly, I'm giving away a pack of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy to one of you, all the way down to if I get 7 wins in this draft, I'm giving away a draft to one of you. All I have to do to claim this is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on how you think I did. Before we jump into it, we are going to be spinning the Wheel of Chaos to give ourselves a little bit of a challenge as we head into things here. Alright, so for today's challenge, we are going to be doing a speed run, which means I've got 3 seconds and 3 seconds only per pick. We're going to be picking fast, and hopefully we can put together a decent looking deck here. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, jumping into this first pack, we've got 3 seconds per pick. We are going to be picking here a Samurai's Katana. I'm acting quickly. Ignis is really good. Didn't really snap judgment. Didn't want to draft 2 colors out of the gates. Love a Dragon's Wyvern and a Quistis Trape as well, but I love the Samurai's Katana. I think this card is a really solid inclusion in any beatdown deck. And we're going to go with it here. I don't love this Farron, and I don't hate it. I don't hate what we did in this first pack, and hopefully we'll look to continue. Maybe like an artifact beatdown deck, but I think this card is really good in any deck that's playing red. So that's our first pick here. We'll move to the next one. All right, here we've got 3 seconds. I'm going with a Warrior Sword. I don't know if I like that pick. I followed up our first red card with a second rare card. That is an equipment. It's okay. It's totally fine. I don't think we're missing much here. Combat Tutorial's pretty solid. White Mage's Staff is good, but I didn't want to pigeonhole us into kind of a red-white start. Grahati is okay. Phantom Train can be good. I mean, look. Is Warrior Sword probably the best pick here? No, but it's fine. So we're going to take it and move along. Okay, I have to read this card first. If you tap one from here, it produces 3 times that much mana instead. Okay, that's not that fantastic. I'm going to go with a Dark Knight's Greatsword here. I really like this card a lot. It is a good artifact and one that is solid in aggressive decks, especially if you can put this on a flyer. +3/+0 is no joke. Hits really hard. So I think we're fine with that inclusion here. X-Death is okay, but I kind of like the Samurai's Katana. I have to try to make it work a little bit. But if red's getting cut off, we'll have to read the signals quickly here and pivot. And we're going with a Dark Knight's Greatsword here, which I feel okay about. All right, moving on into this next pack. I'm nervous. I'm taking a Sleep Magic. I'm pivoting a little bit here. There's no red cards, which is not a great sign if you're trying to make red work. I like Sleep Magic a lot as a interactive spell here. Maybe white is somewhat open. There's a Summon Primal Garuda. There's a Paladin's Arms green. I do like the Town Greeter quite a bit. And then Retrieve the Esper as well is decent. So maybe hoping blue is open. It's hard to read the signals quickly in these packs, but I think a Sleep Magic is a totally fine inclusion here. All right, next pick. I am going to go with a White Mage's Staff. Okay, so now blue's getting cut off. I don't love a Barrett Wallace. I don't love a Red Mage's Rapier. I mean, this was a quick pick, but what are we missing here? Maybe Resentful Revelation would have been a little bit better. I like the Dark Knight's Greatsword, and going into a new color doesn't make a ton of sense. But we have 3 seconds, kind of panic picks, but I don't hate it. You know, maybe that's where we want to be. Moving on into this next selection, I am going to go with a Sephiroth's Intervention. I think this card is really good. Battle menu is also pretty strong, but I like the Dark Knight's Greatsword a little bit more than the White Mage's Staff, so maybe black's a little bit open. We're still trying to find our lane here, but having a Sephiroth's Intervention is not the worst feeling in the world. Moving on into this next selection, very excited to see a Vayne's Treachery here as a really, really solid removal spell. So maybe black-red might be there, black-white, black-blue, I don't know. But it looks like there's some good black cards coming around. Sagan also is super decent. But we're excited to pick up a Vayne's Treachery here. Now, I mean, we'll take a Summon Primal Garuda. I think it's the strongest card in the pack. I don't love the Midgar City of Mako or the Kutrub Forayer here. So we're going to take the Summon Primal Garuda and maybe move into like a black-white sacrificing deck. Hopping on this next pack, I think we're going to just take an Ahriman. I think this card is fine. It's a flyer. I think it interacts nicely with the Dark Knight's Greatsword. You play this on 3, and you play this on 4. You equip an attack with a 5/2 in the air. It's pretty solid. I thought about taking the town as well, but we're going to go with the Armon here. Not passing on anything too fantastic. Now, I kind of am intrigued to try a Phantom Train. I know that sounds kind of nuts, but I think there's a world in which we actually make the sacrifice thing work. Moving on to our 11th selection, we'll take a Shinra Reinforcements. I don't feel fantastic about it, but it is a somewhat playable card. And I think we've kind of determined black is going to be one of our main colors, and we're still looking for that second one here. I mean, we'll take another Phantom Train and maybe just go all in on the sacrificing theme. Here, we'll take an Undercity Dire-Rat as a super reasonable 2-drop. I will say, with the Phantom Train, the Undercity Dire-Rat is decent because you can sacrifice a Dire-Rat and you can sacrifice a treasure to make your opponent have some pretty uncomfortable blocks. Instant Ramen is fine. All right, next pack. We're doing the thing here. We are snap picking a Sephiroth Fabled Soldier.
Wow.
When it enters your attacks, we can sacrifice another creature. If we do, we draw a card, which is good. We've got some of the sacrificing synergies going on here. And when another creature we control dies, target opponent loses 1 life, we gain 1 life. If it's the fourth time that's happened, we transform it into Sephiroth the One-Winged Angel, which I don't think I've ever seen what happens here. We get an emblem. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. You can sacrifice any number of creatures, and we draw that many cards. I mean, it looks pretty solid. Very excited to try that out here. I haven't really done the sacrifice thing here on the channel yet. I think today is the day where we try and make that happen. Moving on to this next pack, we're certainly taking a Vincent Valentine. Maybe if we see a Zodiark, the 5 black mana god, we're taking that and just going mono black here. Very excited to see a Vincent Valentine. I think this card is super strong, especially with removal spells. I didn't even make my way in the 3 seconds to see that there was a Vane's Treachery here as well, but I think Vincent Valentine is super, super strong, and I think that we read this correctly, that black is where we want to be, so very excited to be picking that up here. Hopping on to this next pack, I'm going to go with a Black Mage's Rod. Again, I don't know what our second color is going to be yet. I don't know that it's going to be blue. Maybe it is blue and Golbez is okay, but I love me a Black Mage's Rod. I think this card is good, and if we're trying to sacrifice things, being able to sacrifice the Rod itself and still have a 1/1 behind is kind of nice. So it kind of creates 2 things that are sacrificable, so I think we're more than happy picking that up here. Here, I'm going to take another Dark Knight's Greatsword. Really excited to pick that up in our 3-drop slot. I think that card is pretty fantastic. Here, I think we just take a Hectize. It's a super solid 2-drop. And maybe Mono Black is in our future today. Hopping in this next pack, I got 3 seconds. I'm going to go with another Hectize. I think it's good. It's pretty control-y. It's got some good, it's kind of like some sacrifice fodder as well. Fight On is good. I was thinking about Final Days, but I'm just going to go with the Hectize here. Solid 2-drop, and we'll move on to the next pick. Here, I think we just take another Black Mage's Rod. I'm not super into Summon Anima. Resentful Revelation certainly could be good, but I like the Black Mage's Rod a good amount, and hopefully we can pick up some more removal spells to really make that card work. Hopping on into this next pack, we'll take our first Summon Anima. I think this card can be okay, and there's nothing else in this pack I like all that much. We've got a lot of 3s. I don't really feel the need for another Aramon. We'll just go with the Summon Anima here. Moving on to this next selection, like, what do we pair with our black? I guess I'll take a Summon GF Ifrit. Although I don't love that card here. We'll take it into our sideboard. How about in this next selection? Maybe we're supposed to be like a black-green deck. We'll take a Tifa's Limit Break just kind of for the bit because I think that card is funny. But I don't think that we're going to be playing it here. Really not sure what our second color is going to be quite yet. Moving on into this next selection, I think we take a Cloudbound Moogle. Maybe we'll end up playing black-white. Now, I'll take a Weapons Vendor. I think we're going to have some equipments that we can attach to things. Here we'll take an Aerith Rescue mission. So if we are going to play a second color, it's probably white. Although our value there isn't all that fantastic. Hopping on into this next pack. Look, I think we just take another Black Mage's Rod. I'm doing it. You know, it's a snap decision. Noctis is bad. Ultros is pretty good. But I don't know that we have that many 4-mana spells. I guess the Phantom Train would have gone with that. Maybe I should have seen that quicker. But I like the Black Mage's Rod by just creating 2 things that we can sacrifice later. Eden Seed of the Sanctum is also pretty decent, but a pretty weak pack overall. Maybe I would have taken the Ultros and we would have played that in the Sleep Magic. But I think I'm okay with another Black Mage's Rod here. How about this next pack? We're pretty much snap picking the Overkill as a really premium removal spell. Maybe we are literally playing a mono black deck. I mean, we've got some good synergies going on. We've got some really good removal spells. I don't know that we need to play a second color. So we're just going to pick up the Overkill here and see what else is open. Hopping on into this next selection, I think we just take another Vein's Treachery. It's a really good removal spell. I think interaction is king in this format. And so I'm going to take a Vein's Treachery here over something like an Evil Reawakened or a Edgar, King of Figaro. Maybe the Edgar would have been good just because we've got so many artifacts in the Black Mage's Rod, the Dark Knight's Greatswords, and the Phantom Trains as it currently stands. So maybe a little bit of a misstep there, but I'm going with the Vein's Treachery. I mean, it can't be that bad when we're getting to Vein's Treachery. Hopping on into this next selection. What is this? You can sacrifice you draw 2 cards. I guess we'll take the Midgar City of Mako. Seems fine. I'm not super passionate about a Fang, another Undercity Diarad, or a Vincent's Limit Break, so we're just going to go with the Midgar City of Mako here. Hopping on into this next pack, I do think we just take, yet again, another Hectize.
Another one. And another one.
Zeldinkt is not great in this deck. Zidane is fine, but it's 2 colors we're not really going to be in. Rydia's Return is okay. I don't think we're like making any bad picks here. We do have a pretty vanilla-looking black deck. Here, I will just take another Dark Knight's Greatsword. I like that card a lot. I think it's pretty good. Moving on to our 7th selection. I don't think we want another Phantom Train, so I'm going to go with just the... Actually, I'm going to go with the Slash of Light here. I think there's a chance that we're playing some white cards in this deck as well. Hopping on into our 8th pick, I'm going to take an Ultima. Maybe we are going to be playing white in this as well. Just a little white splash here and there. Now, I do think we'll take an Eden, Seat of the Sanctum. I think that card can be really, just something to do with your mana late in games. Now, we'll take another Undercity Diarad. I do like being able to sacrifice that. We'll take an Imperial Wall City of Arcades. I think it's okay. And we made a lot of snap decisions here today. I think our deck actually looks pretty decent. I'm going to put in some of these white cards. I don't know that they're all necessarily going to make it in, but I think they look okay. Vincent's Limit Break is okay. I think there's a chance we play it. We have a lot of playable cards here, and I think we have a pretty fun-looking deck. Here we'll take a Zidane, although I don't think we're going to end up playing it. And an Island. Alright, so here is the deck we are rocking with today. We had the challenge of doing a speed run, and we picked cards quickly. I definitely let some value out there. Let me know in the comments what I missed that I maybe didn't see quickly enough. But this deck looks super doable. We've got a lot of 2s, a lot of 3s, an Ultima if things go sideways, and hopefully we can jump in and get some wins here. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, hopping into this first one, our opponent goes first. I do think we keep this. We've got the Hectize on 2, eventually into a Summon Primal Garuda, maybe an Ultima if things go really sideways here. I will say we probably don't want to play the Phantom Train and then play the Ultima. Our opponent having a great curve out here, Blazing Bomb into an Emperor of Palamecia. I think now we'll get the Black Mage's Rod out there as a good blocker against the Emperor of Palamecia. If they want to kill with a Blazing Bomb, that's also fine by me. Yeah, that's okay. Ooh. Undercity Diarad's good. I will say, I like holding the Hectize until we can wait for a second to play them, just so our opponent's hand gets a little bit smaller. They really need all the cards in their hand in order to be successful, and then we can play the Hectize and force them to discard a card. They are going to... Oh, that's so rude! They're going to suplex our Diarad so we do not get that treasure. Interesting. I really wanted that treasure so we could potentially Ultima. I think now we just play out the Summon Primal Garuda and we take out their Emperor of Palamecia. I think just getting that value in the Emperor being tapped is pretty good. Allows us to recover a little bit here. Quistis Trape is quite strong, so they can cast their Abrade again, which is good. Certainly solid here. Another Phantom Train is not fantastic. Do we Phantom Train and then we can sacrifice a Black Mage's Rod? Or do we just Heck Dice and make him discard a card, and then next turn we can Sephiroth and sacrifice our Heck Dice? I think I want him to discard a card. I think that's pretty strong here, actually, and we're okay if we take 2. Oh, they had a land. That's a bummer. I was hoping they had 2 good cards in their hand. Maybe they needed that land, though. We don't know. Call the Mountain Chocobo is pretty solid. We draw another Swamp, which is interesting. I do think now we just play the Sephiroth, and we will... I'm going to sacrifice that, guys. It's just not a very good blocker on this board, and I did want to draw another card. We do draw a Swamp, which isn't great, but I'm hopeful that one of these 2 cards, either the one they drew or the one they had, is not a removal spell. Okay, so they had a removal spell, which is bad. So now we're kind of looking at an Ultima, like maybe an Ultima would be good for us. I'm going to play a Black Mage's Rod into a Phantom Train, just in case we don't draw that Plains. And we can kind of use the other Black Mage's Rod as sacrifice fodder to try and block either their 2-2 or their what would be a 3-2. Summon GF Cerberus is not that good, but if you line it up, it can be super good. Can be really strong. Even just with the Caldy Mountain Chocobo, getting to do that twice, I think, would feel pretty solid. I do like the Phantom Train is out there, so we can hold up for a second here. I really wish that they had just killed our Undercity Dire-Rat so we could have played the Ultima. I don't like that we can't do that. I think next turn they're just going to double Call the Mountain Chocobo. So I'm just going to equip this here. And we're going to hold up for a turn. And if they double Call the Mountain Chocobo, hopefully we can draw a Plains, clear the board, and then we'll have a train in a Dark Knight's Greatsword. Yep, we resolve both of those. So they get a couple lands, make a couple more 2/2s, which is decent. Okay, Plains? Not a Plains. Yikes. Hectize is not a fantastic draw there. I think we kind of have to play just to get another body out there. Or do we just play another Phantom Train? Maybe that makes sense just for blocking's sake, and we can sacrifice both of the Black Mage's Rods if we have to. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We are not attacking, and we'll just play these defensively, which is a little strange. Hopefully they don't draw a good spell here. If they do, you know, that's life. Is this instant or sorcery? Okay, so not an enchantment. So they're looking for a spell here. I will say, odds are they're going to be able to find a decent one. Because they discard 2 lands. Oh, gosh.
Help me! Help me!
They did get a Light of Judgment, which is really good. So they're going to copy this a couple of times, which is bad. Yeah, I think we just lose. Oh no, we're not technically dead yet. So we can block one of the 3/2, so we go down to 1. So if there was ever a time in our lives where we're gonna draw a Plains, right now would be a fantastic time for that. Plains one time. No! Oh, that's unfortunate. So we can go Great Sword. Great Sword. And then still die because they have this flyer. Oh, that's so unfortunate. We didn't draw. We only drew 1 Plains through about half of our deck, which is, you know, it's unlikely. And we go down here. We're 0-1, but I believe in this deck. I liked what I saw out of this deck. I think we have enough to get this done. We just had a weird sort of run out there. They got to double and triple spells, which was weird. I think we have enough in the tank here to get a couple wins. All right, hopping into this next one, we go first, which is interesting. I definitely think we keep this. Do we want to play the Midgar City of Mako for its 3-mana? I think we just want the 3rd land. I'm going to play this tapped, and then we're going to play the Undercity Dairat on 2, the Ahriman on 3, and hopefully that's the right decision. I think it is. I think us having those 3 lands is going to be important. We're only playing 16 lands today just because we have a little bit of a lower curve. And so I think just having those lands is going to be important. Don't want to get too greedy. And now I do think we will just play an Ahriman. Dreams of Laguna. Was a little worried they were going to counter it there, but they don't, which is great news for us. And then next turn, if we draw an untapped land, we'll play the Rod and the Hecdies. Emperor of Palamecia is decent. Phantom Train, number 2. Playing 2 of those is kind of funny. I think we're okay offering a trade here. And then I want to just play Black Mage's Rod. I'm not super into playing the Hecdies at the moment. And this way, when we draw an untapped land next turn, we'll be able to play that Phantom Train. Warrior Sword is decent. Alright, so now it's decision time. I think we just play the... Well, we start by attacking. Get our opponent down to 12, and then we'll play the Phantom Train, which could do some work. They're down to 11 here. We could get a big Phantom Train going next turn, potentially. It also is a pretty good blocker. We'll just sacrifice like an Undercity Dairat or something, and then be able to block the Palamecia or the Warrior Sword if they got aggressive. But I think we're going to be the aggressor here. Mysidian Elder is not fantastic. Summon Primal Garuda is interesting. So I'm going to do something kind of crazy here. I'm going to start by playing a Hecdies. We are going to make them discard a card. I'm going to crew the Phantom Train with the Hecdies. And then I'm going to attack with the Phantom Train and the Ahriman here. Stay with me. If they block sketchily like this, I think we just sacrifice the Undercity Dairat. I'm going to do the Black Mage's Rod, actually, instead of the Undercity Dairat, because I don't feel the need to play the Overkill. I guess if we do the Dairat now, then we can play the Overkill on their turn, and that's actually pretty strong. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we're going to sacrifice the Undercity Dairat. And then we'll go to damage like this. So we'll take out both of their things, keep our Phantom Train alive, and then do we think that they have a counterspell with the Emperor of Palamecia for 2 mana? Probably not. So I'm going to play the Overkill now on the Emperor of Palamecia. And then hopefully our Phantom Train can get it done next turn. Ooh, Magic Damper is such a weird card to have. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So their Emperor of Palamecia gets to stay alive, which is really good. We'll end our turn there. Summon GF Ifrit is fine. We're still attacking with a big Phantom Train next turn. Probably just digging for a removal effect here. Wow, they are going to attack, which feels insane to me. We will take 3. I'm not totally sure I get that one. So I do want to play this land out. I'm going to play the Summon Primal Garuda and attempt to take out the Emperor of Palamecia here. And we get there! Alright, we claw back here. We're 1-1, right back in the saddle where we want to be. Alright, hopping into this next one. Our opponent goes first. They kept a hand of 7. I think we have to keep this on the draw. Just Black Mage's Rod into double Dark Knight's Greatsword feels kind of crazy. We do draw a land too, which is great. Ultima is there. Maybe I'll take this Ultima out. I don't really know that it's playing a huge role in our deck. And the double white is annoying, which we have learned pretty quickly here. I'm going to go with the Black Mage's Rod. Yeah, maybe I will sub this out after this game. I can't say I've been a huge fan of it so far. I think we're fine taking 2 there. Albed Salvagers is really solid. I do think now we will just play out the Dark Knight's Greatsword. Ping our opponent for 1, and we've got a good blocker against the Salvagers now. I don't super feel the need to move that over and attack with a 5-1 right now. Saz Katzroy is great. Let's see what bird they go get here. Maybe it's just a basic land. Oh, they're going to get a plains. Interesting. Saz is pretty solid, though. Pretty solid. They are going to attack with the Undercity Dire Rat, which is interesting to me. I think we're a little bit on the defensive here. That I'm actually okay blocking that. We'll lose a life, they'll gain a life, but then we'll take out the Saz Katzroy and then kind of be back to square one here a little bit. They do also get a treasure there, but I think that makes sense for us. Just trying to keep our life total as high as possible, especially if we start moving these Dark Knight's Greatswords all around. We draw 1 plains, which is interesting, so maybe we will eventually play the Ultima, but I don't think we can have our entire game plan revolve around it at this moment. So I think we just play the overkill on the Saz Katzroy here. I think if we go Black Mage's Rod into Hecdize, it's just a little bit too risky for my liking. I'm going to start by attacking here and seeing what they do. If they block, I am A-okay with that. And then we are just going to play our overkill, targeting the Saz Katzroy here. What on earth do they have for 1 mana? Okay, so we lose a life there, they gain a life there. We swap life totals, but I think we like how we came out in that exchange. And then next turn we'll probably just go Black Mage's Rod into Hecdize. Again, this card does get better the longer this goes on. Paladin's Arms is good. Ooh, we could go double Hecdize. That's way too fun not to do, so I'm going to do that exact thing right now. Yeah, I'm doing it. It's too fun. We'll get him down to 1 card in hand. Let's maybe see what they discard first, actually. If this is like a good card... Yeah, Magitech Armor, so let's make them discard another one. Which feels pretty solid here, discarding 2 valuable cards out of their hand here. Feels, wow, Delivery Moogle's a great hit as well. I do not feel the need to be attacking now. Just because I want to keep our life total as high as possible. These Salvagers can quietly do some work. We'll end our turn there. Vane's Treachery is solid, so now they'll probably attack us everywhere. I'm actually kind of okay with a double block. Yeah, let's do it. What are the odds that they drew an effect? So we go down to 11. They're up to 18. They are going to equip the Albed Salvagers here. Another Plains is good. I think we just do this. We lose a Dark Knight's Greatsword and a Black Mage's Rod, but they're going to lose their Paladin's Arms, their Salvagers, and their Treasure. They've got no cards. We've got 2 cards that are action in our hand, so I think we like that exchange a decent amount. They drew a land, which is fantastic news for us. We also did draw a land. I don't really see the need to play it out right now. I'm trying to think through what cards we have that might want us to, but I think we're fine as is. Hopefully we both go into a land pocket here. White Orisite's pretty good. I'm intrigued that they took the 1/1 and not the Dark Knight's Greatsword. Here, Eden, Seat of the Sanctum is interesting. I'm going to equip. We're going to lose some life, but we're going to get our opponent down to 12 here. And then we are going to Eden, Seat of the Sanctum. Is it any permanent? Yeah, so we can get back a Dark Knight's Greatsword. We're not going to be able to play it, so we'll just do that on their turn. Phantom Train is pretty good. So they can take out their White Orisite and make it into a 5/5. We're going to mill 2 cards. Let's see if maybe we'll mill something we like on the top here. Sephiroth's Intervention would have been a good pull. I do think we do this and we just take the Dark Knight's Greatsword. So we're going to take that action and give us the Dark Knight's Greatsword. Ooh, we drew another land, which is not fantastic. I am just going to play this out. And then I do believe equipping and attacking doesn't make sense, so I'm just going to attack for 5. So they are going to take out our creature, and then I do think we just equip everything onto this creature. We go all in on this hero, and hopefully they run out of action here. We'll see what they draw. We've got an 8/1 and a Dream here. Okay. We're going to attack with the 8/1. Phantom Train was a great draw, by the way, because we have so many equipments. I actually feel like it's pretty solid. It's hilarious that I was talking earlier in this game, too, about getting rid of our Ultima. I think it might be the reason we have a chance in this game here. And we get there! All right, another close, sweaty game, and we are now 2-1 on the day. All right, hopping into this next one, we go first. I definitely don't love it, but I think we have to keep it. We've got a 2-drop, we got a removal spell. Summon Anima eventually might be solid for us. I will say we're giving up a lot of life in the Dark Knight Swords, paying 3 life to equip those every time. This is going to kind of hurt. But I think we're okay with this. We'll play the Heck Dies on 2, and then eventually a Phantom Train. I'm actually going to play the Diorite on 2. Take back everything I said. Ooh, Dark Knight's Greatsword is really interesting. I think that they want their Torgal of Fine Hound quite a bit. So I'm going to make this uncomfortable for them, and I'm going to attack with a 5/2. That if they kill, we get a treasure, and they lose their Torgal of Fine Hound. And if not, they go to 15, which definitely is going to make them uncomfortable, especially because we have a removal spell in hand. Reno in Rude is decent. They are going to Chocobo kick our Undercity Dire Rat, but we do get a treasure out of that exchange, which feels somewhat good. I do think now we just Vane's Treachery the Reno and Rude, and then we're going to attack for 4. And then we're going to keep up the Vane's Treachery. Or do we just use it on the Torgal of Fine Hound here? They might not have access to black mana. I'm going really risky. Maximum risk. I'm taking out the Torgal of Fine Hound. I'm doing it. I think they don't have a swamp, and so this might be able to just really slow down their hand. We'll see if it was the right call. Oh, they just drew a swamp. Oh, they have a Geisel Greens. That was certainly a mistake now, looking back at it. We do draw a land, which is good. I do think now we just attack with our 4-1. We'll see what other action they have. If they play like a removal spell here, we'll probably play our Hectize just to get the last card out of their hand. But I think we're also okay with a trade here. Marlborough is interesting. So, if we play the Hectize, we take the Swamp out of their hand. So I'm just going to play a Phantom Train. And then next turn we might kill our Hectize to be able to crew the Phantom Train. Dark Knight's Greatsword is good. Overkill is really interesting. I think we play the Hectize and get the card out of their hand. Summon Anima would have been okay. And then I am going to kill our Hectize and just get as aggressive as we possibly can here. We're at 14. We'll go down to 11, and we'll attack with an 8-5. And then next turn, we've got the Overkill in our back pocket. So hopefully that's enough here to get it done. Shinra Reinforcements is a pretty good draw here. If they attack us, it'd be a pretty big mistake. They are not going to, so they have 3 toughness currently. Sorry, 4 toughness. So I think now we just crew the Phantom Train with the Dark Knight's Greatsword. And then we go to combat. We attack, which is like threatening lethal. And then we'll just overkill one of their things. So I'm going to overkill the Shinra Reinforcements here. We'll get our opponent down to 1. And I think this just gives us our best chance of winning. Next turn we can play Vincent Valentine and then sacrifice it to crew our Phantom Train. And we get there again. It took me a second to see that line. But we are able to get it done here. And we are now ripping through the Speed Run Challenge. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. They kept a hand of 7. I like this starting hand quite a bit. We've got a Black Mage's Rod on 2 into a Dark Knight's Greatsword on 3 is pretty fun looking to me. A couple of Vane's Treacheries as well. So had our opponent gotten off to a slow start, we would have been able to punish them a little bit. Vincent's Limit Break is so bad with what we've currently got because we have a bunch of tokens that would not come back to the battlefield. But if we draw like a Hectize or something, it actually can be pretty decent. Do we want to block that? I don't think so. I think next turn we'll play our Dark Knight's Greatsword. It'll just be a 4-1. We're not attacking. And then next turn we can block a little bit aggressively if we get nervous about our life total, depending on what they play. We do have double removal spell in our hand. We're also fine sacrificing a token or an equipment to give something -6, -6. Sid is pretty decent. So I do think now we are okay blocking their 4-2 like this. Summon Primal Garuda is a pretty decent draw here. So I think we just pass. And then we'll keep up our Vane's Treachery if things get sketchy here. But we'll just try and block the Sid Timeless Artificer with our hero. Yeah, so I'm going to do... I say that. The Summon Primal Garuda can take out their Sid. So maybe we just Vane's Treachery. Sacrifice the Black Mage's Rod. just to maximize, or to save us the most damage here. And then we will summon Primal Garuda, the Cid. We'll see what else they have here. They do have a Coeurl, which is not horrible. What's nice, though, is that we do get to get the Summon Primal Garuda off, which can take out their Cid. And then I actually am going to start attacking here. I think we're okay with this trade. We also can summon Primal Garuda again with the Vincent's Limit Break, which is a line I don't think I've seen yet. So we'll have to pause it on our upkeep if we want to potentially bring the Summon Primal Garuda out a second time. Interesting. Our opponent does not have anything for us. I think we're fine attacking. I assume they have something here. So they're just going to tap down our 5/1. We will attack with the Summon Primal Garuda here. I don't think we want to do the Vincent's Limit Break thing with the Primal Garuda, so I'm just going to play the Undercity Dierat and the Hecdies. I don't really see a world in which they are having a creature tapped on our turn next turn. That's really where you get the most value out of this card. I think we might try and do a Vincent's Limit Break for when we make something into a 7/2, and we try to kill our opponent that way. They're going to Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum, our Undercity Dierat. Did not have that on my bingo card. So they're going to equip and attack with a 3/2 here. I think we are okay not blocking that. All right. So what shall we do here? I think we give the Hecdies the +1 and 0 because they're probably going to... I actually think we Vincent's Limit Break the Coeurl right now. Sorry, I clicked the wrong card. I am going to sacrifice our Undercity Dierat so that we get that treasure. They're going to tap down our 4/1, which is fine. Do we want to lose 3 health to get them to... Yeah, I think we do, actually, because then we can play the Limit Break next turn. I'm going to lose the 3 to make our Hecdies into a 5/1. We'll get them to 7, and then next turn we can Vincent's Limit Break one of our 2 creatures and try and kill them that way. I think them being able to do 3 damage to us in blue-white specifically would be a weird line here. So they do still have 2 mana up here. And we can do it. So we can overkill the Coeurl. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. We can pay 5. Yeah, so we overkill the Coeurl. And then we Vincent's Limit Break this one hero. Turn it into a 7/2. And we have Xaxes here. And we get there again! Alright, we are starting to rip through this run. Some really fun kind of synergies going on in our deck. And we're able to get the dub there. Alright, hopping into this next one. Our opponent goes first, but we have to keep this. I'm loving the Dark Knight's Greatswords out here today. Have been super fun to play with. Hopefully we can get another swamp so we can play our Vincent Valentine on 4, but we've got a pretty decent curve out here as it currently stands. We do. Alright, so I'm going to play the Black Mage's Rod because it's probably going to trade with the Adelbert Steiner a little bit better. I assume they're going to have an equipment here. And then we'll go Dark Knight's Greatsword into our Vincent Valentine. Crystal Fragments is super solid, so you can actually turn that into a 4/3, which is good. We are not going to be blocking that here. And now I do think we will just play out our Dark Knight's Greatsword. And then I am going to attack them for 2. I don't want to lose the life here. They've got a pretty fun curve out going on right now. I think we're fine just keeping back our 4/1 to try and block this Adelbert Steiner here. Galacat is good. Hopefully we hold him up for a turn. Awesome. All right, so now I do think that I think we just played the Vincent Valentine out. And then next turn we can go Dark Knight's Greatsword into Hekdai's. And then next turn we can equip the Dark Knight's Greatsword to the Vincent Valentine and attack with a Lifelinker with Trample. They've got a Resentful Revelation here. I think I'm going to play the Dark Knight's Greatsword. I'm going to hold off on the Ultima. I think we're actually going to play this pretty aggressively. I don't think our opponent has a removal spell, and if they do, then we'll kind of freak out, and we will maybe play the Ultima next turn. But I'm going to attack with the Vincent Valentine and transform it here so that we can get some of this life back. Okay, they didn't have a removal spell, which is great to know. So now I'm just going to play out our other Hekdai's. And then I'm going to leave this on the 1/1. And then next turn we can attack with a ginormous Galarian Beast here. We will take one from the Gala Cat. Sephiroth's Intervention is a crazy draw. So I do think we start by equipping the Galarian Beast here. And just attacking with that. 9-2 with Lifelink and Trample, obviously. They might have a removal spell here. Mughul's Valor is really good, so everyone's going to get a lot of life back here, and we're probably going to lose our Galarian Beast. Yeah. We'll just go to damage here. And then that gets returned to the battlefield. I'm going to move the Dark Knight's Greatsword to this hero, and then we're just going to leave up our Sephiroth's Intervention. We'll end the turn there. Ninja's Blades is decent. I do think we probably will just take out the Gala Cat here. I'm more afraid of the Gala Cat than the Adelbert Steiner. And we also will get to put 3 1/1 counters on the Vincent Valentine, which I think feels pretty good. They still don't have good attacks here either. Black Mage's Rod is solid. So I think we double equip the Vincent Valentine again, like the psychopaths that we are, and then we will just attack with our 12/5 with Trample and Lifelink. That card is a house, and then I do think we still play out our Black Mage's Rod. I don't see why we wouldn't. Get our opponent down to 4, and we get there again! Vincent Valentine goes crazy in that one, and we get another victory here. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. I mean, we're not mulliganing this. We can go Hekdai's. The Greatsword has just been so much fun today. I'll play the tap land first. Even though it's not tapped, the colorless land first. And I do think we'll start again with an Undercity Dire Rat. And next turn we can go with the Dark Knight's Greatsword. I just like being able to attack with a 5/2 next turn, especially if our opponent does not kill it. So we're going to try to do that here. I think there's a world where maybe playing Sephiroth makes some sense, but because they didn't play anything else, I think just attacking for 5 there feels pretty good for us. Summon Fenrir is solid, so I assume they're probably going to block our Undercity Dire Rat here. Ooh, Vane's Treachery is such a good draw. Such a stupid draw. We're just going to play that here. We're going to give their Summon Fenrir -2/-2. And then we are just going to attack for 6. And then play out our Black Mage's Rod. So now next turn we could play the Phantom Train. And that will ping our opponent for 1 with the Black Mage's Rod. Summon Fat Chocobo is good. Vincent's Limit Break is also pretty solid. I think I'm going to start by just attacking with our Undercity Dire Rat. I'm actually going to leave up the Vincent's Limit Break because we've kind of got the aggressive line in this game. I'm actually going to play out the Phantom Train. It's going to make it a little bit uncomfortable for them next turn. It gets them down to 8. And then we've still got the Vincent's Limit Break next turn that we can cast, make something into a 7-2, which is a legitimate line here. So I'm just going to end the turn there. I don't see a need to equip the Dark Knight's Greatsword as it currently stands. And then hopefully our opponent taps all the way out so we know exactly what we're looking at next turn. Bard's Bow is fine. We want them to spend that last 2 mana just so we know exactly what we're going up against. They do play a Titus Zanarkand Faith, which is interesting. That is good. I doubt they attack us here. So now I think we have to just make it as uncomfortable as we can for our opponent. So I'm going to crew the Phantom Train by sacrificing the Black Mage's Rod. And then I'm going to equip the Dark Knight's Greatsword to the Phantom Train. And then we're going to attack with the Phantom Train. This way they kind of have to double block. And even then, it doesn't feel great for them. Wow, so if they triple block, it's 9 toughness I need to get through. I think we're okay letting the Phantom Train go here just because we still have the out of the Vincent's Limit Break next turn. So I'm going to sacrifice one of the heroes to turn it into a 9/6 just so it kills everything. I totally did my math wrong. They had 10 toughness.
No, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
So they hold on to the Titus, which was a little bit of a mistake. But that is fine. I'm still just going to play out the Sephiroth. I don't really think we want to sacrifice our creature. And then I think we're fine just ending our turn there. We might Vincent's Limit Break the Sephiroth, depending. But we'll see what they do here. Sefer Almasi is pretty good. So I am going to Vincent's Limit Break it. Just so that we get to get it back to the battlefield. I don't know that we want to sacrifice the 1/1. I will say it is tough. The Almasi actually attacks pretty well into us. So maybe we will, and we'll go look for a removal spell. Plains is also okay. I'm surprised they would attack with a 1/3. I don't think that would have made a ton of sense here. Wow, Summon Primal Garuda is a pretty good draw. So I do think we just equip the Sephiroth here and kind of make them have to block with the Sefer Almasi. So we're fine with that trade. And then we'll just play out our Hektais, make them discard a card. Wow, Match-Check Armor is pretty good. So their last card in their hand is certainly solid. Choco Seeker of Paradise is good. We draw a land, which is very encouraging. So I think now we just play out the Summon Anima. We draw a card, lose a life. Phantom Train is great. I don't super feel the need to equip the Dark Knight's Greatsword as it currently stands. I think next turn we will. Interesting. Okay, so we draw a couple more lands here. I do think now we probably just... I think we want our Summon Anima to live. So I'm just going to play out a Phantom Train. And we're just going to hold on for a second. Renoa Heartily is good. We'll have to start being a little bit weary of our life total. So we're going to continue getting to draw some cards here, which is nice. We go into a little bit of a land spree here, which is not what we wanted. I do think now we will probably on their turn. I say that. We maybe should have played the Primal Garuda, and then we should have seen that we could have given this flying, and it would have had menace, and we could have killed them with that. A little bit of a misplay. A little bit of a misplay, not going to lie. But here, I think we just go... Do we just play the Summon Primal Garuda? I don't think we do. I think we just hold off for one more turn, and then we will Eden Seed of the Sanctum on their turn. Blitzball is interesting. They still don't have great attacks here, because the Renoa Heartily doesn't want to attack into our Phantom Train. That would just kill it. They are going to scry and then show a land. They still just don't have great attacks here. So we are going to Eden Seat of the Sanctum. And then I do think now we return the... I'm going to do the Vincent Valentine just because they're going to have to block uncomfortably. And then we'll go to our turn. They're going to have to sacrifice a permanent and lose 3 life. So they're down to 3. And then I do think now we go Vincent Valentine. We go Black Mage's Rod. We crew the Phantom Train with the Black Mage's Rod. And then we just staple the Dark Knight's Greatsword to the Phantom Train and just make our opponent as uncomfortable as we can here, while also boosting our Vincent Valentine. So now I do think that we want to sacrifice our Hectize and our 1/1. We are going to take out the... I kind of want to take out the Titus and the Renoa Heartily here, just because they're going to get some card draw with the Titus. So I'm going to do exactly that. Yep, we're going to do 9 like that. And now our Vincent Valentine is going to get a whole lot larger, which is good. So it turns into a 9/9, and hopefully that's enough here. Okay. I'm going to start by going to combat here and seeing what our opponent does. We are going to transform this. I'm afraid they have some sort of removal effect here. This is lethal as it currently stands. And we get there again! Alright! We get another victory. We are now 6-1 on the day, ripping through this run. Alright, hopping into this next one. Our opponent goes first. Hopefully we can get a victory here, because if I get 7 wins in today's draft, I'm giving away a draft to one of you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and hopefully we can get this W. We're going to be keeping this. I'm playing the Undercity Dire Rat on 2. Ooh, interesting. I might actually play the Black Mage's Rod now, just because I want to get that treasure so we can play out that Vincent Valentine. I'm going to play the Dire Rat first. And then next turn, we'll probably play the Black Mage's Rod. Gala Cat is our opponent's play. Eden Seat of the Sanctum is not a bad draw at all. I'm actually kind of excited about that. I do think now we will just play that out, and then we will play out a Black Mage's Rod and continue to hold on to our Hectize. We are not going to be attacking with our 2/2. Opponent has a lot of planes over there, which is interesting. I do think now it is important for us to get the Vincent Valentine online, just because then we can Sephiroth's Intervention and then start to attack with that and actually start to do some damage that way. I could also see an argument to be made for just playing out the Phantom Train and getting aggressive that way. I'm just going to play the Vincent Valentine and pass. Hopefully they don't have removal effect. I think some of the ones in white are a little bit limited to the number of creatures you have, or to its power and toughness or power being greater than 4. And we get there! They fear our Vincent Valentine, and we end today with a trophy, which is so exciting. It's been a minute since we got one on the channel, and our speedrun draft turns into a 7-in-1 day. Alright, so here is the deck that gets it done today. It was so much fun. Maybe my favorite deck we've had in Final Fantasy so far. Triple Dark Knight's Greatsword with the Vincent Valentine and the Sephiroth. Just a ton of fun, a lot of good games. I hope you enjoyed watching it today. And based on my performance, I'm now giving away a draft to one of you. So if you want to claim this, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below on how you think I did. Hopefully it was good. I'll be reaching out to one of you in the comments. All you have to do is send me a screenshot of the draft deck that you get. Hopefully it's a good one. Just trying to pass on the love here a little bit. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.